More than one sailor has gone overboard when the Constellation has been at sea. Now a new device could be a lifesaver if it happens again. I'm Bob Lawrence. The story just ahead on 10 News, live at 5.
See what leadership can do for you. This is 10 News, live at 5.
That piercing alarm could spell the difference between life and death the next time the USS Constellation heads to sea. The Connie is due to set sail this weekend for a 6-month deployment.
And when it does, it will have new technology aboard designed to quickly help sailors in the event the unimaginable happens, falling overboard. 10 News reporter Bob Lawrence here with that story.
Well, we found out today the technology really isn't all that new, but it certainly is to the Constellation, where the unimaginable has happened not once, but twice in recent months. Bruised and battered, Michael Harris spoke with reporters recently about his harrowing night at sea.
The blast just swept me off my feet, and next thing I knew, I was in the water.
It was 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night past midnight when 21-year-old Michael Harris came up on this catwalk for the first time. It's also at the same time when the engines of an EA-6B Prowler fired up and blew him overboard. The engine nozzles on the Prowler point down, the blast knocking Harris 70 feet to the water below.
Yeah, I saw him go over. I wasn't sure if I was really seeing it or not. I couldn't believe it.
James Nigg was leading Harris and others on deck that night.
You know, he was with me. He's never been on the deck, and I left him for a second. There was always things going through my mind at the time. I didn't know what to think. So I was just hoping and praying that, we'd find him.
But a key piece of equipment, Harris's strobe light, had broken in the fall. That's where this device comes in. It's a saltwater activated alarm. It not only sounds an alarm if a sailor hits the water, but transmits a signal to rescuers trying to find him.
Some of the ships who have the system installed have been able to detect the transmitter in the water from 20 miles away.
Rescuers, meantime, finally located Harris, who survived 7 hours in 62-degree water when most would not. James Nigg was flown to the hospital to see him.
It's surprising. I thought he'd be a lot worse shape than what he was in, but he's not in too bad shape. So he's still same old Harris. Still joking around, still goofy old Harris, so I love him.
Harris, meantime, says he does want to return to the ship, but not the flight deck. As for others who will work there this deployment,
this system is going to be automatic, doesn't require people to actually see the person going overboard, and it's really going to help out a lot.
Now the goal is to have these, they're called man overboard indicators, or MOBIs, installed fleet-wide over the next 5 years. And by the way, we're going to have live coverage of the Constellation's deployment on Saturday morning beginning at 9, right here on Channel 10. In fact, the whole battle group is going, 5 other ships besides the Constellation.
Big day.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, Bob, thanks.
The USS Constellation is leaving for a 6-month deployment this weekend, and when it goes, it will carry a new piece of technology designed for safety. Technicians are installing a man overboard device which will sound an alarm if a sailor falls overboard. It will also emit a signal guiding rescuers to the person in the water. That system is being fast-tracked after 2 sailors fell overboard in recent months. By the way, 10 News will provide live coverage of the Connie and the rest of the battle group's deployment Saturday morning starting at 9 o'clock.